How much can you make with your own bookkeeping business?
Now, this is something that I know a lot of people struggle with, and they struggle with it at different phases, right? So some people have never started a business before, and they have like extremely large expectations but no timelines. And the reason why that's bad is because if you get inside, you think, okay, I'm going to be at 20 grand a month tomorrow, and you don't hit that, you get very discouraged. And that's when people like stop doing business in general, or they switch to some random business, or they start trading crypto, or just different things that maybe is not in their core competency that cause them to make a lot less progress than if they just had, a better way of understanding how much should you actually be thinking about you're going to make, and also what are the time frames with which you should be aiming for those kind of goals. I want to kind of help you out. Now, also, if you ever wanted some help growing your business, like if you don't want to have to like create all this stuff on your own or just think about this stuff on your own, I invite you to go and join our mentorship program. Okay. I'm going to leave a link to that inside the description below this video. Right? If you're on the desktop, just go scroll down below the video. If you're on the phone, click that more button and it should pop open. So, just some background. So, for me, I started my bookkeeping and CFO business back in 2015. Now, when I started, I did not really understand a lot of this stuff. So, I ended up having to pay a bunch of various mentors, both in the local area and online, because there was not really one cohesive how to start a bookkeeping or accounting firm course. So, it took me about 10 months to cross that 10K per month mark. It took me about 16 months to get to 17K a month in sales for bookkeeping and CFO services. Now, since then, we've also opened a mentorship program where we've helped over 375 mentees go through the program to start and grow their business. So I want to make these videos to make sure that you don't have to repeat the same mistakes that I did when I was starting out. So the first thing is going to be like knowing your business type. So your income is mainly the number of clients times the average monthly fees. Now, the problem most people do is that they don't really fix the correct side of that equation. So on one side, it's the number of clients multiplied by the average monthly fee. So what most beginners do is they try and get this number as high as possible, like a million clients over here for $100 a month. Next, okay, so let's look at what is the time frame, right? So from first client to a full-time income, I want to give you the pathway so you understand this. So when you're thinking about increasing your income, there's a safe kind of way to do. Now, when I think of safe, I'm talking about safe from a capacity, energy, and emotional regulation perspective or standpoint. A safe growth rate for most people is adding about $1,000 per month to your monthly recurring revenue. Now, this depends on your skill level. If you are very good at accounting, right, then maybe you can go slow for your first client. After that, you can just grow as fast as you want, right? But if you're a little bit newer to the field, or if you're just nervous, or if you're working like a really demanding job, you don't want to go and add $5,000 a month with multiple clients. If you get one client for 5,000 a month, that's a little bit different. But if you get multiple clients, that'll add up to that. If you get 10 clients for 500 bucks a month in your first month, that might sound cool, but that can be a little overwhelming for a lot of people. So generally, let's say like the first 1 to 2 months. In the first 1 to 2 months, you should land 1 to 2 clients. Even at a starter rate, that's okay, because you just want to validate your offer and validate that people are willing to pay you money. Okay. The next thing is start focusing on simple businesses so you can start delivering quality and build confidence. If you've already worked in corporate America for 30 years, you can take on a complicated client. But for the most majority of people, just to build a little bit of confidence, especially if you've never used QuickBooks before, I would go with like maybe like a simple, like a service-based business. Maybe they're right around like 300, 400K a year. You charge maybe $300 a month just to get that first one under your belt. So you start feeling good, you have a reference, you have a testimonial, and you have a case study you can use for future clients. Okay. So that's the first 1 to 2 months. It's just about setting things up and getting things moving. After that, months 3 to 6. Okay. So really, months 3 to 6 is about growing to 6 to 8 clients. You want to aim for about $6,000 to $8,000 per month in your monthly recurring revenue. Okay. So if you understand, like we said, like the safe rate is like going and adding $1,000 per month. Now you might be saying, Bryce, I'm only adding $1,000 per month. But remember, every $1,000 that you add to your monthly revenue turns into 12,000 per year. So it might sound a little bit low, but remember, 1,000 equals $12,000 per year. So it's like you're actually moving relatively fast. It just feels slow in the beginning, right? So at this stage, you want to really tighten your system. So onboarding, monthly close, and your reporting checklist. Now, if you keep in mind, you notice how we said onboarding is in months 3 to 6. Do not spend 6 months trying to perfect your onboarding path, or your what do they used to call it? They used to call it not just onboarding checklist, but just their onboarding systems. Bro, like you're gonna change that at least 3 to 4 times over the first 5 years. Like I occasionally will even I actually rewrote my onboarding path for my coaching program the other day, right? Because I wanted to make it a little bit tighter. I want to do some other stuff. And we've been doing the mentorship program for 5 years. So it's like you're always going to be changing and tweaking stuff. So don't try and perfect everything to start. You want to have something that's good, maybe a little bit more manual in the beginning. And then over time, you start adding automations. You can start adding in different forms. You can start using different software. But just go slow, do the best you can. And then once you start getting clients, now you can start taking on feedback to make your business better. Okay. From there, after that, right around the 6 month mark, start nudging your prices up for new clients as your demand's increasing. Remember, as you get more and more clients, you become better at sales. People like know you more. People are waiting to work with you. You can afford to charge higher and higher prices as just as a because fee. So it's not saying like the work is necessarily getting harder. It's just that you're getting more valuable, so you can charge a lot more. For example, a famous lawyer, let's say a guy, I live in Michigan, so one guy's named like Mike Morse. Mike Morse can charge a heck of a lot of money for his name and for his history in business than someone who just got started in the legal field can because no one really knows them and he doesn't really have any demand. Now, that does not mean you have to be famous to charge more prices, right? You can manufacture, oh my goodness, that's another word. Manufacture the feeling of fame in your business. Crazy, crazy. I'm gonna make another video on this in a couple minutes, actually. This is really good. I like this. Okay, so now we're gonna go to months 7 and 12. So at this stage, you should have replaced your job or hit a strong side income level, like very strong. Okay, again, so you want to keep gradually repricing old clients or replace low fee ones with better fit clients. Remember, we have that running list, so we want to make sure the bottom third is either being handed off to either like a staff account underneath you, or maybe you have an international team, right? But we want to make sure that we can get them off of our specific plate, right? If you have other people that are working with you, okay, you can keep them on. If it's just you want to let go of those clients, it's okay to let go of clients. You are not their saving grace. You might be their saving grace, but if they need you to do everything or else they're going to go out of business, they're not really a good client, right? It's not a good client. You really want clients that don't need you. Okay. Next thing. So build about really want to try and build like to 10 to 15 clients and move towards 9,000, 12,000 a month. It's really what you're shooting for there, right? So you want to see if you can get your average client value or average monthly client to more close, like maybe close to 1,000, maybe $1,500 per month. That will make things a lot easier. Because like sometimes you can go after like really high value clients like 5K per month. Really, I kind of like the $1,000 to $2,000 a month range because like they're very low demand clients in a lot of cases because yes, they might be doing $1 million per year in their business, but at the $1 million level, it's still small enough to where things in their business feels chaotic. So the business owner is always kind of like putting out fires. So they don't have a lot of time to like oversee you or ask you a million questions or a million different things. There's always an exception to every rule, but for the most part, it's how it is, right? When you start getting to a more organized company, that's when the business owner wants to like know more, and that's like when people start transitioning to like CFO services, and that's because like, a business owner just wants to talk to you more and wants to know more. So if you can kind of get to that 1,500, $2,000 per month average for all of your clients, that'll make things exponentially easier. And that's how you can get to about 12,000 per month in 12 months. Now, if you want if you want help building this step by step, and if you want feedback on your pricing, your niche, your offer, or if you just don't want to figure this stuff out on your own, you don't want to figure this stuff out alone, go ahead and click the link inside the description to book a call with me to see if I can help you. The time is now. Book a strategy sessions to see if I can help you out, okay? So on the mobile, if you're on your mobile phone, go down below the video, it should be right here, tap this more button, and it'll open up like a description for you to find a booking link. If you're on the desktop, just scroll down below the video, click the button, it'll say show more, and then the link will just pop up. So this is important for you if you really want to have financial, just really having that freedom in your life, both from a time perspective, a standard of living perspective, and like a location freedom where you want to be able to live wherever you want or move wherever you want, go travel wherever you want, whenever you want without having to ask permission. click the link inside the description, book a call. Let's see if we can help you go and achieve that for your life, okay? And remember, your first few clients can change everything. Let's build your plan together and let's see if there's a way I can help you out, okay? I'll talk to you soon. Have a good rest of your day.